Good evening, Patriots, and welcome to the live broadcast of the Douglas Ducote Show. You had many places you could be tonight. You chose to be here with me, and for that, I am forever grateful. Thank you very, very much. Boy, today has been from start to finish, sunrise to sunset, and then some, packed with all types of hate, literal hate from the left, the liberals, and the Democrats up in Washington, D.C. against Donald Trump. There's even a couple of Democrats that are already putting together articles of impeachment against Donald Trump in the event that they win back the House at midterms. That's right, folks. I don't know what it's going to say he did, but it doesn't matter because what they said he did the last two times were not true. So there's a bunch of things happening. One of the things that you probably have heard a lot about is DOGE, D-O-G-E, which stands for Department of Government Efficiency. All right. Donald Trump ran on, if you elect me, you put me back in the White House, I will go line by line in the budget and find fraud, waste, and abuse and stop it. Why? Because it's your money. We, the people, the taxpayers of this country, that's the money that our government is spending. And well, you see, the problem is it's being exposed what the money's being spent on. And it's embarrassing. All right. It is literally embarrassing to see what's happened over the past 4 years. Now, every president, all 47 of them, pick one, doesn't matter. They select people that they can trust that are going to be on their cabinet. They're going to handle certain situations. They're going to be part of their team, not necessarily in the cabinet. All of them do this. Because the president of the United States can't do everything, right? It's impossible. So they have people that do all this stuff for them. And in Trump's situation, he chose Elon Musk to go in and look at the federal budget and look at where all this money's been going to and find out, is there places we can cut? Or is there fraud, waste, and abuse? And if it is, we need to do something about it. He did not make Elon Musk a cabinet member, and he did that on purpose. Elon Musk is a businessman. Elon Musk is probably one of the, if not the smartest, intelligent businessman other than Donald Trump on this earth. Have done wonderful and great things and didn't do it with fraud, waste, and abuse. So he chose him for a reason, so that he could go through this our budget and pick this stuff out. Now, what the Democrats don't want you to know is that Elon Musk does not have the ability to make any decision on his own. And he can only read what's there. He cannot singly decide this is going to go away, that's going to go away, we're going to keep this, we're not going to keep that, we're going to alter this, we're going to change this. Elon Musk doesn't have that capability. Although AOC and Ilhan Omar, all the Democrats up in Washington, D.C., they're screaming and hollering, Chuck Schumer, they're Maxine Waters, they are just beyond themselves that Elon Musk is going through this. How dare he? And why? Why are they so upset about this? And why are they lying about it? By trying to make the American people believe that Elon Musk can make these decisions. He can't. Only one man has the ability to make the decision on what's going to be cut in fraud, waste, and abuse. And that is Donald J. Trump, the President of the United States. Anything that Elon Musk finds that in his mind as a businessman is fraud, waste, and abuse, then he has to take that to Donald Trump, and Donald Trump makes that decision along with his Treasury Department person and all that kind of stuff. All right. There's a whole group of things that have to take place. But if you listen to what's coming out of the mouths of these Democrats up in DC and the liberals, I mean, they're going in front of every camera that will allow them, except Fox News, because they call them out and expose what's stupid about this. And that is that Elon Musk doesn't have the superpowers that they want you to believe he does. All right. So the left and the Democrats now, all of a sudden, they hate Elon Musk for what he's exposing because they don't want that shit exposed, folks. They want that to be hidden away. That's what they do. They take your money and they waste it. That's where fraud, waste, and abuse comes in. And so I was in a text message exchange yesterday with a friend of mine, and we both agreed that, you know, there's one thing at least that's been put out on a press conference that we haven't seen the proof of yet. Excuse me a second. That we're, you know, the press secretary puts out everything that's happened during the day and what Trump's doing. And it doesn't matter if it's Trump or if it was Biden when Biden was, or any president. Okay. They get up there pretty much every day and they describe what's on the president's agenda and what they've accomplished for the day. Unless it was Joe Biden, and then you didn't hear anything about what he was accomplishing because he wasn't. But they go through this they go through it and trying to determine where everything's going to fit into play with that presidency so that you or we, the people that are paying these salaries, are aware of where all that money's going. All right. So I said that there needs to be maybe a website put together where everything that Elon Musk is exposing, then, you know, he's going to take it to Trump. Trump's going to make the determination, but at least show that. Have a website where you can show the actual proof. Where's this stuff at? All right. Prove to us that it happened. And the one thing that the press secretary put out that the Democrats on the left are just so freaking pissed off about is $50 million worth of condoms to the Middle East, to Gaza. All right. Oh, there's no proof of that. CNN, MSNBC, everybody's like, there's no proof of this. There's no proof of this. You can't prove that. He's lying. They're all making this up. All right. I don't know if they're making it up or not. I don't know if it's the truth. Why? Because there's no place to look at it. There is no website. All right. So hold that thought a second, because I found it. I found where it's being put, where you can go yourself and see where the proof's coming from. All right. Now, I haven't had a chance to go through it line by line with everything that Elon Musk has found. I'm sure that within all that stuff is going to be the condom thing. Otherwise, they lied about it. Either it's there or they lied about it. And why lie about it when there's a million things that are wrong that happened over the last 4 years that are blatantly in our face, that there's no reason to lie about this stuff. So where can you find it? On X, formerly Twitter, Elon Musk's platform. He is posting it in the DOGE X page. DOGE stands for Department of Government Efficiency. And he's explaining the fraud, waste, and abuse, what it is, and then a link to where you can see the proof of that particular thing. And then it doesn't mean that it's going away. It means that it's going to go now to the president, and the president will make that determination. So it's gotten so bad that today a federal judge got involved and they started suing to get this stopped, to where nobody has the ability to know what they're doing with our money. That's what the Democrat Party is focused on right now. shutting down the Department of Government Efficiency and Elon Musk so that you and me do not know where our money is going. Because it's embarrassing, folks. It's literally embarrassing, all the crap that they have put into bills that they've hid in different locations, and literally just sending money out the door. Your money, my money, wasting it away. And they got to find a way to stop this, because they're never going to get back in office again if they don't. Because now the people will see what the Democrats have been doing for the last 4 years. And they got a federal judge to agree with them. Federal judge today temporarily blocked the Department of Government Efficiency from obtaining access to certain Treasury Department payment records. Treasury officials will not provide access to any payment record or payment system of records maintained within the Treasury Department, the Treasury Bureau, Physical Service. Judge Colleen Kohler Catelli wrote in a temporary restraining order. She doesn't want to know where their money's going either, obviously. That program handles an estimate 90% of federal payments. We've got to be able to see that. Donald Trump ran on this. We voted him, the Electoral College, the popular vote, all three branches of government, because we wanted this stuff to stop. We wanted Congress to be held accountable for where our money's going. They don't want it exposed. And they're doing a hell of a job going out and yelling and screaming and hollering in front of cameras. The order comes after the Justice Department on Wednesday agreed to propose court order to limit access to sensitive records to only 2 special government employees within DOGE who will have read-only permission. And oh, by the way, that's Elon Musk. He doesn't have the ability to do anything else but read that and then take it to Trump. So this is going to change. This will not make it, okay? Regardless of how high up, it even has to go all the way to the Supreme Court. It's our money, not these Democrats in Washington, D.C. That's not their money. It's our money, and they're wasting it away on crap and giving it to other countries. Now, some of it I'm going to share with you right now, because it's dumbfounding. How much money do you think in the last 4 years the Biden administration, Biden-Harris, gave to Mexico? How much? Take a wild stab at it. Well, if you guess $295 million, then you're correct. The Czech Republic, $324 million. Estonia, $334 million. Lithuania, $339 million. Poland, $375 million. Romania, $397 million. Bulgaria, $431 million. Tanzania, $471 million. Pakistan, $536 million. Colombia, $731 million. Philippines, $809 million. Somalia, $998 million of your money. Lebanon, $1 billion. Iraq, $2.2 billion. Jordan, $2.3 billion. Afghanistan. And who's controlling Afghanistan? Who's receiving this money? The Taliban. The people that want to kill us. And the withdrawal of Afghanistan, Biden left billions of dollars worth of military equipment behind to fall into the hands of the terrorists. That's, oh, by the way, treason. Biden and Harris gave Afghanistan $6.1 billion over the last 4 years. Egypt, $6.3 billion, Ukraine, $2.6 billion, and Israel, $8.5 billion. They didn't want you to know that. They didn't want you to know where your money is going. That's why they're trying to shut Elon Musk down. And it doesn't matter if it's Elon Musk or Bob the janitor, whoever's doing it, doesn't matter. They don't want it happening because then you're going to know what they did with your money for the last 4 years, and you're never going to vote them into office again. So they're in panic mode. They're all over MSNBC. They're all over CNN. They're all over ABC, CBS, everybody on Fox News. They're out there blasting how horrible this is and how it's unconstitutional. No, it's not. There's nothing unconstitutional about we the people knowing where our money is being spent. That's our money. How about this? $7 million to study magic projects. 1,513,299 to use kittens in a study to analyze motion sickness. $419,470 to determine if lonely rats salt cocaine at a greater frequency than happy rats. $123,000 to teach children in Kazakhstan how to go viral on social media. And the State Department spent $4,840,082 on influencers. I don't know who those influencers are. I'm sure they're liberals that got that money. We'll find out in the near future. And the source for all that is listed as well right there for you to go and look it up yourself and see exactly where the money went and the proof of where it went. $28 million on licensing fees for a green camouflage pattern on Afghanistan National Army uniforms. That's the fucking Taliban that we're suiting up in military gear. The terrorist. Afghanistan doesn't have their own military anymore. It's controlled by the terrorist organization, the Taliban. You're going to love this one. $2.5 million on a Super Bowl ad that's going to run on the census during the Super Bowl. $1.7 million for holograms of dead comedians. $500,000 to build an IHOP in Washington, D.C. How about this? State Department spent $2.1 million on border security for who? Not us. Paraguay. Then there's the USAID, which we're trying to shut down. USAID program, where they're spending billions of dollars on crap in other countries. And man, are the Democrats and liberals pissed off that this is being exposed right now. Oh, it's unconstitutional. It's proven that Donald Trump is hates our country. It's proven that he hates other people in other countries. On and on and on. $20 million on Alan Shama, a new Sesame Street show in Iraq. That's right, Iraq. Sesame Street. $6.4 billion of debt every day for the next 10 years, borrowing over $268 million every hour, $4.5 million every minute, and $74,401 every second. $45 million for diversity and exclusion scholarship in Bruma. $3 million for girl-centered climate action in Brazil. $288,563 for a diverse bird watcher group. $6.9 million to $6.9 million to study smart toilets that will recognize the user's anal print. I'm going to repeat that. $6.9 million to study smart toilets that recognize the user's anal print. What in the hell is that? I just want to know what the program's about. How are they doing it? How's it going to work? $2.3 million for the NIH to inject dogs with cocaine and see how it affects them. $118,000 to study a metal replica robot of Marvel comics and whether or not they can actually really snap their fingers. $75,000 in grants on a Harvard study on lizards being blown off trees with leaf blowers. He found that the Pentagon can't fully account for $824 billion. The Pentagon. $236 billion in proper payments in federal programs in just 2023 alone. $200 billion in pandemic relief went to fraud, abuse that we can't track and don't know where it went. And the U.S. failed to track $1 billion in Ukrainian aid. Your money. The Democrats don't want you to know this stuff. The U.S. Department of Health under Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and the Human Services issued an $850,000 federal grant to Centerstone, an LGBTQ family support program to provide training for military families to affirm the gender identity of children. The Department of Education spent another $1 billion promoting DEI in American schools. $489,833,797 for race-based hiring. $343,337,286 for DEI programs. $169,301,221 for DEI mental health initiatives. $100,000 to study if tequila gin makes sunfish more aggressive. $1 million to study if cocaine makes Japanese quail more sexually promiscuous. $750,000 to study if the moon landing was one small step for man or one small step for a man. The study is inconclusive. You can't listen to the fucking audio of what Neil Armstrong said? You got to spend $1 million fucking dollars for this? And why? Oh, because we weren't politically correct back then in the moon landing. The Department of Education spent $1 billion promoting DEI in America's schools. This is just not, it's not just that it's sickening. It's that if you listen to what has happened in the last 24 hours, the Democrats are in total panic mode that this is being exposed to you. $759 million of workforce diversity and outreach. $611,203 elevating microaggressions among Latinx individuals with obesity. $87,944 on the role of the ischronal cycle and nucleus accumbens signals on incarbonated or oxidine cravings in female rats, whatever the hell that is. In 2023, just that year, illegal immigrants cost us, we the people, $150.7 billion. To put this in context with other cost-adjusted inflation, World War I was $334 billion. Apollo space program was $257 billion. Manhattan Project to develop the nuclear bomb, $30 billion. The Panama Canal, $15.2 billion. The Hoover Dam, $1 billion. And in 1 year alone, 2023, that's as far as they've gotten. It's going to be way more than that over 4 years. $150.7 billion went to illegal immigrants. $125,000 on examining anti-racist healing in nature. I want to know what that program is. $151,000 on perceived racism involving cardiovascular risk and your mind's ability to age when it's under extreme racism. $516,000 on effects of racism on brain and pathways to health disparities. How about California high-speed rail project? How many of you knew that? That the Democrats spent, let's see, the original project started in 2008 and it was to cost $33 billion. Now projected to cost between $88.5 and $127.9 billion. Estimated date of completion was in 2020. As of 2024, you ready for this? With $33 billion given to California for this rail program, that should have never been given to them in the first place, 0 passengers have been transported, and the majority has not even been fully designed. They haven't even built it yet. And it started in 2008. Now, some of that's going to be Donald Trump's fault from the last time he was president, because this shit was being spent under his watch. But he didn't have anybody in there to do what Elon Musk is doing. And he was too busy fighting subpoenas, fighting court orders, being impeached, that he didn't think, I need to have somebody go through this line by line and figure out where everybody's money's going. Now he has. That, my friends, is what fraud, waste, and abuse is. Donald Trump said, if you elect me, I will find out where your money is going. It's your money. And I will let you know how your government is spending it. And on every single news outlet out there, except for Fox News, the Democrats over the last 24 hours have been screaming, holy hell, that what's happening is unconstitutional. How dare Donald Trump have anybody do this, much less Elon Musk? Pretty damn stupid, isn't it? There is a quick little video I want to share with you all. I hope it plays. The last time we tried to do this, it kept stopping in and out. So we're going to try it, but it's very important that you listen to what Nancy Mace says. This is in a hearing in Congress today, and what the Democrat says to try and stop her and shut her down. And then we're going to talk about that, because these are some things that I'm sure you don't know anything about. Let's see what happens if this will play.
The Department of Government Efficiency's plan to reorganize the U.S. Agency for International Development, or as we all now know, USAID. They're screaming about Elon Musk over there, but hey, George Soros and his boy are okay. They scream that we're all a threat to democracy when they've been systematically dismantling democracy before our eyes. They've been caught with their hand in the cookie jar, and there's no going back. So I would tell my colleagues across the other side of the aisle, take your salty tears and sit right back down. USAID has long strayed from its mission to effectively and efficiently administer aid to advance American interests. USAID has become rotten to its core, sacrificing the prudent use of taxpayer dollars at the altar of advancing radical, sinister social and political agendas abroad. From discriminatory DEI initiatives to extreme gender ideology to marginalize real bona fide biological women.
Now, listen closely where she's going to go and what the blowback's going to be.
For decades, while homeless veterans sleep on our streets, our communities rebuild from natural disasters, and American families struggle to get by, USAID has pillaged and plundered the American treasury, essentially lighting American taxpayer dollars on fire, funding some of the dumbest, stupidest, just dumbest initiatives imaginable, all supported by the left, and that's why their party is crumbling. Today, I'm going to expose some of the initiatives USAID has funded over the years and ask each of you a yes or no question. If you believe these expenditures of American taxpayer dollars put America first. So it'll be yes or no. USAID awarded $2 million to strengthen trans-led organizations to deliver gender-affirming health care in Guatemala. So to each of you this morning, does this advance the interests of American citizens paying for trannies in Guatemala to the tune of $2 million? Yes, Governor?
I have no position.
Of course you don't. Okay, USAID awarded over $750,000 to fund alleviating loneliness among migrant garment workers in India. Does this advance America's interests, Governor?
No.
No. I have no position.
USAID awarded $1.5 million.
Wait, stop a second. The guy on the end, he has no position because he's going to be in deep shit by the left if he does say no. It doesn't do anything to advance us for our money to be spent this way.
For providing a gender-sensitive response to migration at the Venezuelan border. Does this advance America's interests, Governor?
No.
No. I have no position.
Does this advance the interest? Okay, so USAID awarded $4.3 million on October 1st, 2023 to a group to fund comprehensive health services for men having sex with other men in South Africa. Does this advance the interests of American citizens, Governor?
No.
No. I have no position.
I bet you don't. Okay. USAID awarded $1.5 million to advance diversity, equity, and inclusion in Serbia's workplaces and business communities by promoting economic empowerment and opportunity for LGBTQI plus people in Serbia. Does this advance America's interests?
No.
No. Nope.
You have no idea, right? Okay. USAID awarded over $70,000 to a group to deliver a live musical event to promote the U.S. and Irish shared values of diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility. Does this advance the interests of America?
No.
No. No position.
No position or no clue. Okay, USAID awarded $1.5 million to fund strengthening community support structures to upscale LGBT rights advocacy in Jamaica. Does this advance our interests?
No.
No. No position.
USAID awarded $28 million to a group to facilitate the economic insertion of Venezuelan migrants and refugees in Peru and Ecuador. Does this advance our interests?
No.
No. No position.
Okay, USAID awarded $17.5 million to fund voluntary medical male circumcision overseas. Does this advance America's interests?
No.
No. No position.
I don't know what circumcision overseas has to do with America First either. USAID awarded nearly $150,000 to fund HIV prevention services targeting men who have sex with men and transgender. Does this advance America's interests?
No.
No. No position.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm limited to 5 minutes, but these are the programs Democrats are so desperate to save. Our foreign assistance system is badly broken, and this ends now. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I yield back.
Gentlelady yields back.
Mr. Chairman, parliamentary inquiry.
Yes, sir.
Okay, here comes the Democrat with the upsetness of what she said. He has a problem with what she said. This is freaking classic.
The gentlelady has used a phrase that is considered a slur in the LGBTQ community and the transgender community. And let me please finish without interruption. And
Tranny. I don't really care. You want penises in women's bathrooms, and I'm not going to have it.
Okay.
No, thank you.
Let
It's disgusting.
the gentleman state his parliamentary inquiry.
to me, a slur is a slur. And here in the committee, a level of decorum requires us to try consciously to avoid slurs. You just heard the gentlelady actually actively, robustly repeat it. And I would just ask the chairman that she be counseled that we ought not to be engaged. We can have debate and policy discussion without offending human beings who are our fellow citizens. And so I would ask, as a parliamentary inquiry, whether the use of that phrase is not, in fact, a violation of the decorum rules.
Mr. Chairman, I'm not going to be counseled by a man over men and women's spaces or men who have mental health issues dressing as women. I'm not being counseled by some guy.
Now listen what she's a freaking rock star, okay? Nancy Mace is a damn rock star. So okay, let's just keep playing.
Is to the chairman,
Okay.
Mr. Chairman.
Order. The inquiry is about decorum. Decorum is at the discretion of the chair.
That's
I will be
mansplaining,
honest,
Mr. Chairman.
with the ranking member. I'm not up to date on my politically correct LGBTQ terminology. We'll look into that and get back with you on that. I don't know what's offensive and what's not. I don't know much about pronouns or
I appreciate that,
offensive terms.
Mr.
in that
Chairman, we don't have to
community.
anymore.
So
I thank the chair for his willingness to.
Comer says, I don't know what you can and can't say. What? She said something. Did y'all hear anything that was a slur in what she said? She said the word tranny. That's a slur. Just like the N-word is for black people. Or calling a Hispanic person a wetback. Okay? It's a slur, supposedly. So this was really bothering me after I watched this. And I'm thinking to myself, is this really a thing? Is he telling the truth? Or is he just a dumbass? Because I don't know either. Just like Congressman Comer doesn't know. I don't know. I don't know what I can or can't say around somebody that's a transsexual. So I looked into it. Of course I did. Problematic phrases you may not have realized are transphobic. So I want you all to get out a pen and paper. I want you to make sure you're writing this down because God forbid if out in public you slip up and use one of these racial slurs against a man in a dress. It's just not going to be acceptable. All right. So make sure you write this down or get your iPhone and go in the notes. Okay, because you need to know this. You can't ask if they're a biological female or a biological male. Referring to someone as biological female or male can be invalidating to a trans person's gender because it implies they are not, in fact, the gender they identify as. Instead, saying someone was assigned male at birth or assigned female at birth is better, just so you know. It acknowledges that at birth, we are assigned genders decided by our genitalia rather than our actual gender identity. Okay, y'all got that written down, right? You can always come back and if you can't write fast and catch it. Sex change operation. You can't ask them if they've had a sex change operation. That's a racial slur. Asking a trans person if they've had a sex change operation is not the right terminology, and you will not use it. There are a variety of gender-affirming surgeries a trans person may choose to have in their lifetime. These include top surgery and bottom surgery. The top surgery refers to changing the chest of a woman by removing her breast so she can become a man. While people typically mean bottom surgery when they ask if someone has had the surgery, many trans people do not get their penis chopped off. A trans person, medical history says nothing about their traininess, so it's best to not ask unless the person offers that kind of information to you. So please don't be insensitive. You can't ask them if they are fully transitioned yet. Similarly, asking if someone is fully transitioned or planning on transition implies a trans person isn't valid unless they have gender-affirming procedure done. Many trans people will start hormone replacement therapy, but don't feel the need to have any surgery. In other words, the guy will keep the penis and flap it out in the women's locker room, which is what this whole thing was about in Congress today. Goes on to say that every trans person's journey with their gender is different. You cannot ask if they're pre-op or post-op. Don't do that. Don't even talk about their surgery. You can't say that you need dysphoria to be gender. Gender dysphoria is the feeling that your body does not fit your gender identity. Telling a trans person that they don't appear to have an outward gender dysphoria is presumptuous. It also implies that trans people need to feel a certain way about their body to be trans. Just because someone doesn't openly discuss their gender dysphoria or aren't HRT doesn't mean they aren't experiencing dysphoria internally. And it's a private matter, so do not go there. Here's a good one. You might see, guys, this is for guys out there, okay? You're in a bar, all right? You see some hot girl. You start talking to her. Y'all have a lot of things in common. You buy her a drink or two. Things are going really well. And you guys are going to go to a hotel and get it on. All right? And then that person says to you, just so you know, I don't want to mislead you, sir. I'm a transgender. You cannot say to them, because they look so pretty, they look like a girl. You can't say to them, you don't look transgender. Telling a trans person they don't look transgender isn't a compliment. You cannot assume someone's gender identity based on how they look. Just because a person is wearing makeup or a dress in a manner you view as feminine doesn't mean they aren't a trans man. And just because a trans woman is dressing masculine doesn't make her a man. Gender presentation and gender identity are two separate concepts. You guys and girls are learning something tonight, aren't you? I know y'all are going to use this as you move forward in the rest of your life. You know what you can't say? You can't say she-male, he, she, or it, or she, he, or she-male, and it. It's all derogatory phrases that can be extremely hurtful to transgender people. Wait a minute. AOC and the Democrats have been telling us for 4 years that you should put your pronouns on everything you do. Even Kamala Harris used her pronouns. And now, you can't do that anymore. Here's a good one. Transsexual or transvestite. Transsexual and transvestite are both outdated terms to refer to transgender people that are falling out of favor among trans people. Both are frowned upon now because they were used to pathologize trans being, and referring to being trans is a mental illness. Who knew? And Planned Parenthood Handy Guide on Identity Terms and Labels, experts say some people find these terms offensive, others do not. Only refer to someone as transsexual if they tell you that's how they identify. And that applies to transvestite as well. And the last thing you can't ask them, please make sure you understand what I'm telling you here. And when you go to work tomorrow, or you go to school tomorrow, or you go out in public tomorrow, for God's sake, don't ask a trans person what their real name is. Asking a trans person their real name or the name they were given at birth is deeply personal to a trans person. Many trans people refer to the name they were assigned at birth as their dead name, dead, D-E-A-D, name, because they do not share it and never use it. Using a trans person's dead name can be hurtful and triggering for someone, so it's best to not ask. If a trans person does share their dead name, it's important to not call them that in the future. I'm just a wealth of information tonight. I'm a helper. All I'm doing is trying to make sure that my subscribers fuck. Is this shit nuts or what? Okay. But you're learning something. Okay. Education Hour with Doug. Moving on. Democrats succeeded today in delaying a committee vote to advance the confirmation of FBI Director nominee Kash Patel until next week at least. And that sucks because we need him there yesterday. Because I shared with you just Tuesday what's going on with the folks that are temporarily running the FBI, trying to sue Trump to keep the names of those involved in J6 from being exposed. The vote, which was slated to happen at 10:15 today, this morning, was paused to next week after Senate Democrats demanded a second hearing from the Trump-aligned former Defense Department official, citing concerns about his previous remarks and candor. In other words, he stood his ground up against those left-wing Democrats. And if you watch the hearings, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And they don't like that shit. In a statement Tuesday night, of this past Tuesday night, Senator Charles Grassley said attempts by top Judiciary Democrat Dick Durbin and others to force Patel to testify again was baseless, as he's already sat before the committee for more than 5 hours and disclosed thousands of pages of records to the panel, as well as nearly 150 pages of responses in written question and answer that the Democrats gave him. At a press briefing this morning, Democrats criticized Patel for both his previous actions and his remarks made on podcasts, social media, and in his book, saying that, in their view, Patel failed to assure any of their concerns last week during his nearly 6-hour confirmation hearing, including questions on whether he would take moves to ensure the Bureau can continue to act without political interference. Patel then argued, failed to directly answer their questions on the topic. They also said Patel failed to account for his previous statements to the extent required to head up the nation's sprawling law enforcement agency. In other words, he's going to go in there and stop the FBI from being weaponized against a political opponent. He's going to go in there and make sure that the FBI treats all of us, we the people, equally. He's going to remind them that Lady Justice wears a blindfold for a reason. In other words, he's going to clean house. He's going to fix the broken FBI. And they don't want that shit to happen. Why? Because he's probably going to go after some of them. This appointment, the head of the FBI, is one of the most serious that the Senate Judiciary Committee should consider. Durbin, the ranking Democrat in the committee, told reporters. Kash Patel has no business being director of the FBI, Senator Chris Coons, Democrat, said, noting that he asked Patel 3 simple questions directly. Questions last week about how he would lead the Bureau in an independent manner if confirmed. I asked him if he understood who the FBI works for, and he answered essentially through the Department of Justice, the White House, Coons said. I gave him another chance to answer, not who they report to, but who they work for. And he again said the White House. Because guess what? They haven't been working for we the people that pay their salary. That's the whole fucking point of this. I asked if he would refuse to a direct order from the president to do something inappropriate, immoral, or illegal, Coons said. And he would not answer. Senator Amy Klobuchar, Democrat, for her part, cited her own background as a prosecutor, a job she noted involves close work with federal law enforcement, that nonpartisan, independent nature of the Justice Department and FBI is really key to all the work and the belief in our justice system, she said. Madam, you're fucking high on crack, literally. Or maybe you're sniffing Tester's glue or eating Elmer's paste. Whatever's happening in your little brain, stop it. Just stop it. To have an FBI nominee, think about this, who is repeatedly calling the people that he is supposed to manage corrupt is beyond belief, she said. In other words, he can't say that the FBI is full of corruption and he's going to go in there and clean it up. And I'm shocked that our Republican colleagues have not signified any concerns about this nominee. Still, Democrats face limited option to further delay Patel's confirmation in the near term. Durbin reached out and actually told Fox News today that their aim is delaying the hearing is to raise more public awareness about Patel's previous actions in hopes that doing so will shore up new opposition from some Republicans in the chamber. Ultimately, lawmakers noted they can only delay Patel's committee vote through next week. Beyond that, they said, it is up to the Republicans. The president has chosen to nominate a disappointing choice in Kash Patel. Senator Alex Padilla, Democrats, told reporters. Now it is up to the Senate to either confirm this nominee or not, adding that it's clear where Senate Democrats stand. I think my biggest question is, where are Senate Republicans going to stand at this important moment in history? Will they choose the rule of law? Will they choose the Constitution? Or will they choose loyalty to a reckless president? You could not make that shit up if you tried. They're in full freaking panic mode because this Department of Justice and this FBI, once he's confirmed, is going to rake their ass over the coals and actually hold them accountable for their freaking actions for the past, not just 4 years, but going back another 4 when Trump was in office, those 4 years where they screwed him over time and time again. The Trump administration's multi-agency plan to root out those that are against the Jewish people all across U.S. colleges, campuses receive praise from students and professors as fear persists among Jewish community. You see in schools like UC Berkeley, Portland, or Harvard, Jewish students are being locked out of their libraries and are being harassed by other students. High school junior Gregory Lakikoff said on Fox and Friends yesterday, "That's not how I want my college experience to go. And that's definitely not how it should be," he said. He blamed the Biden administration for taking no action to address those that were attacking Israeli students and Hamas sympathizers that were terrorizing campuses during the last 4 years. Nora Rubin, a student at the University of Pennsylvania, described witnessing true violence similar to what was being described. Jewish students are being intimidated. They're being physically harassed. There are people breaking the laws, and we're not going to hold them accountable in ways that it should be. So I think that this executive order that Donald Trump is going to put forward that will send these people in college that are supporting Hamas out of this country is a good thing. If they're on a student visa and they're out there protesting for Hamas and doing anti-Israel and anti-Jewish stuff, guess what? This FBI, this Department of Justice, this president is going to do what we, the people, have been demanding. Stop that shit and deport those little motherfuckers out of this country right now. That's what you wanted. That's what I wanted. Trump is doing everything we want him to do. That's why he was voted in. Clean up the FBI, clean up the government's wasteful spending, find these programs that are wasting our money, or at least, if nothing else, let us know where we're sending our money. All this shit I read to you, nobody has a clue until Elon Musk exposed it. And that's not even the tip of the iceberg. It's going to take him 4 years to go through all of that shit to determine what is and is not fraud, waste, and abuse. And the Democrats are off the rails tonight. They want this shut down now, because then you will know where your money has been going, and you're going to be pissed off. And they don't want that to happen. They want to keep you like a mushroom covered in shit in the dark, which is what they've been doing for the last 4 damn years. Folks, you had many places to be tonight. You chose to be here with me, and for that, I am forever grateful. Thank you very, very much. For those that tuned in last night, for Marilyn and I to do our program that we do on Wednesday nights, thank you so much. I actually got a chance to go back and watch it today and actually laugh my ass off at some of the stuff that we talked about. It was pretty damn funny. You didn't get a chance to see it? Check it out. It's on YouTube, it's on Rumble, it's on X, it's on LinkedIn. I'll be back next Tuesday for another live version of the show. If something does happen or breaks between now and then, I will either do a video about it or I will come and do a live program about it real quickly with breaking news. Other than that, whatever you're going to be doing this weekend, please be safe. Please watch your six. Don't forget, don't ever, ever forget that Biden and Harris allowed terrorists from the Middle East into this country that we don't know where they're at right now. And our FBI is now going to try and find them before they kill us. That's a big deal. It's not when, it's not, are they going to do it? It's when and where they're going to do it, because it's going to happen, sadly. Watch out for your neighbors. Watch out for your family. Watch out for yourself. As always, please say a prayer for our men and women serving the United States military, our veterans, our law enforcement officers, our first responders, their families, our angel families, our blue and gold star families, and our country. May God bless the United States of America. May God bless each and every one of you. If you haven't already done so, If you're watching me tonight on YouTube or on Rumble or X or LinkedIn, wherever you're watching me live, please like and subscribe to the program. Share it with your family and friends. Make sure you tell them Mr. Doug sometimes says a bad word if they have kids around. So keep the volume ready to be turned down. And if you haven't done so, go to douglasducote.com. Check out our website. Everything we do on social media is uploaded there as well. And I think you'll find some interesting stuff there, going back for many years that I've been doing this. Take care, everyone. God bless you. And I will see you next week.